still trying to catch our breath. Someone repeats the punchline and we start all over again. The street is almost empty, the moon is riding high. We should probably head home now, but nobody says goodbye. Tomorrow we'll be tired, we'll forget what started it. But right now we're 17 again, even if we're not. Laughing in the backseat, singing words we don't know, making up the harmony, making up the road. The dashboard lights are glowing, the night is passing by. We don't need a reason to feel this alive. Laughing in the backseat, young enough to stay awake. Years from now, we might not remember what made us laugh that night. Maybe the joke will disappear, maybe the details won't survive. But I hope we'll still remember the sound of everyone trying not to laugh and failing. Laughing in the backseat, underneath the midnight sky. Someone's wiping tears away, someone's asking why. The road keeps getting longer, the morning isn't near, and for a little while nothing else exists but here. Laughing in the backseat with the people I hold dear. The song changes, the laughter fades. Someone says, okay, okay. One last time. And we all start laughing again, because years later we won't remember the joke. We'll remember how hard we laughed. You texted me at 4. Are you still staying in? I looked outside the window, the rain was pouring in. We had no real reason, no place we had to be. I grabbed my old blue jacket, you said, come meet me. The streets were getting wetter, the evening turning gray. You laughed and said, so why not? And I knew we'd go anyway. Meet me when it rains, we'll go wherever the road takes us. No plans, no perfect place, just you and me and rainy days. We'll find a little cafe, stay until the lights turn low. Maybe we'll get soaked outside, maybe we won't know where to go. The best plans sometimes begin with why not. The last green signal, ran across the street. You almost slipped beside me, then laughed until you couldn't breathe. We found a tiny corner shop, bought coffee and some bread, started talking about nothing, then somehow talked for hours instead. The rain kept falling softly, but nobody wanted home. Funny how a simple evening can feel like somewhere known. Meet me when it rains, we'll go wherever the road takes us. No plans, no perfect place, just you and me and rainy days. We'll take the longer way back, let the city pass us by with wet shoes and cheap umbrellas. We'll laugh beneath forget the cafe, the street, the time, the route. But I know I'll still remember how easy everything felt. No need to make a memory. We were simply there ourselves. Meet me when it rains, even if the whole sky falls. We don't need a reason, we don't need a plan at all. Let's wander through the evening, let the night decide the way. Some of the best days happen when nothing goes the way we planned. And if tomorrow asks us what we did today, we'll probably just laugh and say, why not? The rain is getting lighter, the streets begin to shine. You look at me and smile. Coffee, I say. Why not? Why not? The rain came down so suddenly, we ran across the street, three of us beneath one umbrella, trying not to lose our feet. Your shoulder hit my shoulder, someone stepped on someone's shoe. The umbrella wasn't big enough, but somehow we made it through. We were laughing way too loudly, getting soaked anyway. Nobody cared about the weather, nobody wanted to go away. One small umbrella, three friends underneath. A little bit of rain, a little less room to breathe. We're walking way too slowly, with nowhere else to be. Somehow there's always room when you're with the right people. One small umbrella, and the whole world feels complete. You held it to the left side, I pulled it to the right. Someone said we're getting wetter, then we laughed the whole night. We stopped beside a cafe, shook the water from our clothes, ordered 3 cheap coffees and stayed until they closed. The windows filled with raindrops, the street lights turned to gold. We didn't need a better evening, we just needed somewhere warm. One small umbrella, 3 friends underneath, talking about nothing, laughing until we couldn't speak. The rain kept falling harder, but nobody seemed to care. Somehow there's always room when the right people are there. One small umbrella, and somehow we all fit. Maybe that's what friendship is, not having everything you need, just making space beside you and saying, come with me. A little crowded, a little messy, a little rain along the way, but when we're all together, it's enough to make a day. One small umbrella, 3 shadows in the rain, walking down familiar streets like there's someone new again. Maybe we got soaked, maybe our shoes were ruined too, but years from now I'll still remember walking here with you in small umbrella. One ordinary night. Somehow there's always room on a Saturday, no tickets, no hotel. You said, let's drive somewhere. I said, yeah, why not, let's go. We threw a few things in the backseat, found an old map on the floor. Didn't know the town we'd reach, didn't care anymore. The road was open wide, the windows let the warm air in. We had no idea where we'd end up, but we were already grinning. Somewhere we didn't plan, somewhere we don't know. Following the open road, just seeing where it goes. No schedule, no reason, no place we had to be. We didn't know where we were going, but you were coming with me. Somewhere we didn't plan, and that's exactly where we wanted to be. We stopped beside a roadside market, bought fruit we'd never tried. A little dog followed us around and disappeared outside. We found a quiet little town with flowers by the door. Someone played a guitar nearby, so we stayed a little more. The afternoon kept changing, the sky turned soft and gold. We took a picture by the river just because the view felt good. Somewhere we didn't plan, somewhere off the map. We found a little cafe and took a 2-hour break. No schedule, no reason, no need to hurry through. We didn't know where we were going, but it felt right with you. Forget the name, but I know I'll remember how we laughed along the way. Because the place was never the reason we left home. It was having someone beside us when we didn't know where to go. Somewhere we didn't plan, underneath an open sky. The road kept giving us surprises, and we kept driving by. No destination, no perfect ending, nothing we had to prove. We didn't know where we were going, we just knew we wanted to go together. The sun is almost setting, the map is upside down. You look at me and laugh. Do you know where we are? I smile. No, good. Let's keep going. The sun is getting lower, the street lights start to glow. You ask, should we go home now? Nobody says let's go. The highway's almost empty, the windows open wide. We turn onto a side road just to see what's on the other side. No one's in a hurry, no one's checking time. The evening feels too good to leave it all behind. Let's take the long way home, there's nowhere we need to be. Let the city disappear behind the trees. We can miss a couple turns, we can drive until it's late. When you're with the right people, getting there isn't the point. Let's take the long way. We stop beside a gas station, buy drinks we don't really need. Someone plays an old song and everyone starts singing. We laugh about the wrong words, make up our keeps moving forward, but nobody wants the end. Tomorrow can't wait for us, tonight is ours to keep. The best memories sometimes happen when we're not trying to make them. Let's take the long way home, turn left when we should turn right. Find a little roadside place still glowing in the night. We don't need a destination, we don't need to know the way. When you're with the right people, even getting lost feels great. Let's take the long way. Maybe someday we'll remember how the headlights crossed the dark. Not the miles, not where we ended, just the laughter in the car. Maybe life is made of moments we don't realize our goal, the ones we try to stretch forever, because we're not ready to go. Let's take the long way home, let the night keep moving on. We'll follow every little road until the stars come out. No one needs to say it, but we all know the truth. We aren't trying to get somewhere, we're just trying to stay a little longer together. Let's take the long way. The road becomes a quiet line beneath the midnight sky. Someone asks, are we almost home? We all laugh, not yet. Take the long way. Take the long way. The night is almost over, the streets are quiet now. We stand beneath the streetlight, not ready to say goodbye. We spent the whole evening talking about our lives. Now everyone is heading home, one by one into the night. You checked your phone, I checked the time. We smile like we'll be fine. Text me when you get home, when you see your bedroom light. Let me know you made it safely before you say goodnight. You don't have to say you love me, you don't have to say a thing. Sometimes friendship says it quietly in the little care we bring. Text me when you get home. The rain has left the pavement shining underneath the cars. You pull your jacket tighter, the others disappear into the dark. We wave across the corner and walk in different ways. It's funny how a simple sentence can stay with you for days. No big promises, no dramatic goodbye, just one small message that says I'm alright. Text me when you get home, when the front door closes slow, when you're finally warm inside, just let me know. You don't have to say you miss me, you don't have to explain. Sometimes friendship says I love you by making sure you're safe. Text me when you get home. Maybe that's what growing up is, learning how to care without making it complicated, without needing to be there. It's remembering someone's tired face, knowing when they've had enough, sending one small message, because their safety matters to you. Text me when everything. It's almost 11:30. Rain is falling slow. The cups are nearly empty, but nobody wants to go. The chairs are on the tables, the music's getting low. Someone starts sweeping near us, but we keep talking anyway. We said we'd stay for one more drink, an hour ago tonight. Funny how the smallest moments always make us lose track of time. At the cafe before closing, we talk beneath the lights. The whole world feels like it's sleeping, but we're still wide awake tonight. The coffee's gone cold, the room is almost bare. Some conversations end only because someone has to turn off the lights. You tell me about your old dreams, I tell you where I've been. We laugh about the people we thought we'd always need. The waiter brings the last receipt, we know what that means. But somehow one more story turns into another three. The windows show the empty street, the night is deep and blue. There's nothing extraordinary here, just me sitting here with you. At the cafe before closing, we talk beneath the lights. The chairs are slowly disappearing, but we're not ready for goodbye. The coffee's gone cold, the room is almost bare. Some conversations end only because someone has to turn off the lights. Maybe someday we'll forget the things we talked about, the little fears, the silly plans, the dreams we figured out. But I think we'll remember this quiet little place, the warmth of tired laughter, the rain against the glass. Some nights don't need a reason to become a memory. At the cafe before closing, the last light starts to fade. We finally stand together, still talking on the way. The street is almost empty, the rain has nearly stopped. We say, see you tomorrow, but neither of us really wants to stop. The cafe is closing, the night is moving on, but some conversations never really end. They just wait for the next time we meet again. The lights go out behind us, we step into the night. You say, same place next week. I smile, of course. We sat beside the window long after the rain had stopped. You asked me what I wanted from a vending machine down the block. We argued about old movies, which pizza place was best. You told me some ridiculous story, I laughed until I couldn't catch my breath. None of it was important, none of it had a point, but somehow I felt lighter just sitting there with you. We talked about nothing for hours and hours. The weather We laughed at how we looked. We talked about a teacher and every strange rule in that old school. Someone mentioned tomorrow, then we changed the subject twice. We made impossible plans that probably won't happen in this life. No answers were discovered, no problems disappeared, but somehow every little thing felt easier with you here. We talked about nothing until the cafe closed. The coffee had gone cold, but nobody wanted to go. We talked about everything, the silly and the small. The conversation meant nothing, but somehow it meant it all. Maybe friendship isn't always knowing what to say. Maybe it's sitting quietly when there's nothing left to say. Maybe it's sending a message just because you saw something funny. Maybe it's knowing you can call without needing any reason. And maybe years from now we won't remember this night, but I'll remember how it felt. We talked about nothing under the fading lights. No destination, no reason to stay all night. But if I could go back, I'd choose the same old place. Same table, same stories, same laughter on your face. We talked about nothing, and somehow that was everything. The street was almost empty. We said goodbye at the corner. Text me when you get home. And just like that, another ordinary night became something. How